creating of emails in HubSpot. You know how we can be able to send emails to one person? Yeah, we can send emails to multiple people in HubSpot, and it is called marketing email. So let's say, for instance, you want to set up a welcome email to go out to everyone on your contacts if a new contact is coming in. Now you can decide to create an email which is a marketing email, and then you can be able to send this email out to people. Okay, so to create your marketing email in HubSpot, you need to come over to marketing, then you click under campaign. You are going to see emails. When you click on email, you are going to see this place here where you can be able to create a new marketing email from scratch. And when you click on create email over here, it is going to ask you if you want to select, if you want to just create an email that is going to be sent to a list of contacts, and these emails can be sent immediately or they can be scheduled. Or you want to create an automated emails that can be used in automation and sequences, and those emails can be automated. Or you want to create an automatic email to share new blog posts that you have created. So let's just make this a regular email. So we're going to click on regular, and it is going to ask us to select an email template, and they have various templates we can actually pick from over here. Yeah, they have some nice templates that we can use. So I'm just going to pick something simple for the sake of this tutorial. Shall I pick this? Oh, it's logged. This is logged. Wow. So let me use this. So when you want to use a template, you can click on use template, or you can click on preview. The preview will allow you to be able to see how the template is going to look like on your desktop and on your mobile. So since this we can see this template and we see that it is okay, you just click on use this template. When you click on use this template, it is going to take you to the editor's page where you can be able to edit this template. Now, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to share some simple thing we can do. I'm not just going to deep dive and take time on this. I'm just going to show you some simple things we can do for this. So we can then add different elements into this template. We have the logo in here. We can decide that we want to edit this logo by replacing this image. I'm just going to go over to replace, and it is going to load this up where I can be able to attach a file. So let me see if I can upload a file. Oh god, that's been suspended. Okay, that's fine. So you can also decide to go over to content here, and you can, let me see, add, and you can drag in text. By bringing in the text here, you can type in whatever text you want to add. You can also go back to add here, and you can add in button, you can add in socials, you can add in HTML, where you can add in any code you want to add in. You can add in media like image and video to your email. You can add in videos, and you can even use, so if you want to add in videos, let's see if you can use a URL. So let me just pick a video from my channel. So I already grabbed a link from my YouTube channel. I'm just going to paste the link over here, and when I paste that link, that is going to bring out this video into this place. And as you can see, the video has been added. Okay, so that video has been added. I can decide to increase the width, and let's say I want to make the width 400. Let's see how that looks like. Let's make it 500. Yeah, I think that's better. You can also decide to use a custom thumbnail. If you do not want to use this thumbnail of the video, you can use a custom thumbnail, and you can click on save. When you go back to add another thing, you can add in image. Like I said, you can add in divider. You can also add in products, but that is paid. Cart is also paid. You can also add in payments after you set up your payment. Now the next thing under adding is the email context. You can see the different sections that we have. You can edit the section however you want. Maybe you want to put it in the middle, you want to put it the content alignments to the left or to the right. Yeah, so when you go back to content, you can then see the columns, you can see the images. Yeah, so you can see each sections of your emails. So it is going to arrange everything, and you can be able to pick whatever section you want to pick, and edit that particular section. So for instance, for this, you can decide to add padding, and you can decide to show, or you can decide to hide this for maybe the desktop view or the phone view, whichever one works for you. And you can also decide that the visibility should be only for you can decide to hide the visibility and say that you only want to show for desktop, or you only want to show for mobile. So this is, you can also decide to add in all devices if you want it to show up on all devices. So let's show this. Yeah, so when you go back to content, you can also do the same thing for all of this. So the next one under content is the template design, and for the template design, you can decide to make this default. You can decide to make this boxed, and boxed, it means that it is going to create a box where it's going to make everything boxed, like the inside of this box, and you can use the simple template. No, I do not want to remove that. So you can also use the simple template, and you can also decide that the body color should be if you don't want to use white, you can say red. That is not going to be fine. Yeah, that is not nice. So I'm just going to go back to white. You can use black if you want. Yeah, black makes a lot of sense. Let's use black. So we can use black. We can also decide to change the border width. We can change the border color. The border is just the line surrounding the what's it called, the inside. So as you can see, this is the border. We can decide to use red for the border color, or you can decide to, yeah, you can use red. You can use whatever works for you. Let's just use purple and see. Yeah, you can leave it like that. So we can say we want to use a background color for the background type. As you can see, this is the color of the background. Or we can even say we want to change the color of this background. We can change it to something like blue. You can change it to something like purple. You know, just choose whatever works for you. And instead of background color, you can use background pattern, and you can be able to select patterns. HubSpot is going to show you the different patterns you can be able to use. So let's pick a pattern. This is ugly. This is very ugly, but we are going to use it like that. Yeah, so we have this pattern over here. That is not nice. Oh no. Okay, so let's use this. I'm just going to use it for tutorial sake. So that is for the pattern. We can then go back to design, and we can decide to change the background color also. We can also decide that we want to change the font for the paragraphs. We want to change the font for the header. You can decide to change whatever, and you can decide to change it to whatever font works for you. So when you pick that font, as you can see, it has changed the font. The same thing applies to the heading. You can decide to change the heading for the heading 1. You can change the heading for the heading 2. As you can see, that has changed. You can also decide to change the color of the heading. Instead of using purple, you can pick whatever color you want to use. Okay, so you can also decide that the button, every of the buttons should be in purple color, or every of the buttons should be in green color. You know, that has changed the button, but I think I prefer the purple. So let's use purple. And we can also decide to use the dividers, and we can also change the color of the dividers to whatever color works for you. We can also add in spacing. So spacing to all the sides of this, we can decide to add the top and the bottom, and we can decide to apply to all sides if we want. So that is for the template design. And after that, we have this where we are going to choose the particular people we want to be able to send this email to. So we can say that I want to send to a segment of people. My account has been suspended. Why? Okay, so I can't be able to pick different contacts, but I'm just going to show you how to do that. So to select a segment, you just need to click on this, and you can be able to see the different segments you can pick from to send to those particular segments. And remember that we already showed you in I already showed you in the previous section where we can create a segment. And when you pick in the segment, it is going to add the estimated recipients. You can see the estimated recipients for that particular segment. Okay, you can also decide that the subscription type should be welcome, and you can decide to send to, let's say we want to send to, okay, that's great. Okay, yes, this is where I can be able to pick in my segment. So as you can see over here, let me reduce this. Okay, as you can see over here, I can pick the subscription type. Let's say that's welcome, and I can say I want to send to, maybe I want to send to open contact, or I want to send to, yeah, this is open contact. I can decide to send to them. I just click on this and pick them up. I can't pick them up. Okay, yeah, so we can decide to send to open contact, and we can decide that we do not want to send to, maybe we do not want to send to test leads. So you just need to pick that up. If you do not want to send to people, you just need to click on this do not send to, and that is going to remove every of the contacts in this place. If they are already in this place, we are not going to send to this contact. Okay, that's confusing. So what I mean is that if you want to send to open contact and we are not sending to test leads, there is a contact that is in open contact but is also in test list, it is not going to send to that particular contact. That is because that particular contact is in test leads and we do not want to send to test leads. I hope that's not confusing. So that is for that. And when you're done, you can then go to the next one. The next one allows us to be able to schedule our email. So instead of sending out this email immediately, we can say that we want to schedule for later. Let's say we want to schedule this email to go out on the 10th of March, and we can then set a particular time for this to go out, maybe by 12 a.m. No, everybody's asleep by that time. So let's say we want to send by 1 p.m. and we also want this to be the account default, or we can say that I want it to be my own time zone, or you want it to be the recipient's time zone. We cannot do that because it is in the paid plan, which we respect that. So we have to go back and we have to use the account time zone. You can also see the advanced setting where you can be able to adjust the send time if you want, and that is for the sending. And for the settings, you can then you can name this the internal name. You can name this welcome email, and you can decide to create a new property, and you can decide to create an email property and categorize them according to that email property. You can decide to change the language. Then the next one is the automate part, and for the automate, we can decide that if a new contact come in, then this email is going to be sent to them automatically. But remember, I said that most of the things you need to do is actually in the paid plan, and for us to be able to create a simple email automation, we need to upgrade to what? To the starter plan. So those are the things you actually need to consider, especially if you are using the HubSpot free plan. It is important to note those things that are free and those things that are not free. So after we are done with everything, we need to add in my subject line. So let me go ahead and add in my subject line, and we are just going to add in welcome, then their first name. We are going to personalize this, and we are going to use the contact token, and we are going to use the contact first name. This is first name. Then insert, we need a fallback value, so we can say I welcome customer. So we can say welcome customer, and we click on insert, and that is going to insert the first name for that customer. Or if there is no first name, the fallback value is customer, then it's going to be welcome customer. So we can also add in the preview text, and remember that the preview text is going to show up under your subject line. You can also decide to hide the body text from the preview text if you want. You can decide that this is the from name you want to use, or you can add in whatever from name you want to use, and this is the email address you want to use. And when you're done, you click on review and publish. So you can preview and test first before you send it to the people you want to send it to. So you can preview as a contact first. It is very important you preview first to see how it is going to look like before you send it out to your contact. You want to make sure that there is no mistakes. You want to make sure that your images are correct. You want to make sure that there is no mistakes in your text, your buttons are working, your socials are working, and everything is well connected. Because if it is not well connected and you send it out, there is no way you can be able to edit it in the people's inbox. Yeah, that is not possible. So we're just going to go back to our editing, and we're going to click on review and send. And as you can see, these are the things that is telling me that it is not available. So I need to go ahead and fix all of this thing first before I can be able to schedule this particular email. So let me just go back and delete my socials just for the sake of time. Okay, let's delete this. Yeah, that has been deleted. Then I want to delete this button because of the URL. Delete. Yeah, that has been deleted. So when I click on review and schedule again, I should be able to schedule. Oh, they are still keeping me on hold. Yeah, that's fine. I cannot schedule this. So when you're done with all of the settings and everything, just click on schedule. But because we are scheduling, you can also send now if you want. And when you click on this part, you need to go back to this place here, this clock menu. Let's cancel this. And when you click on this clock menu, instead of using schedule for later, you can send now if you want. So when you want to review and send, it is not going to be scheduled, it is going to be sent. And when you click on send, this email is going to be sent to the segment you have already picked. So that is how to create marketing emails in HubSpot. If you have been using HubSpot for a while, or your team have been using HubSpot for a while, and you feel like your team are not using HubSpot the way they are supposed to, we at CRM instructors, we can help train your team to make sure that they understand HubSpot to the fullest potential, and they can understand how to use HubSpot for your particular sales process. So you can book your team training by using the link in the description below, or you can check us out at crminstructors.com to see how we train teams to use HubSpot optimally. And also do not forget to subscribe to this channel, and also like this video, and also share to everyone who you think is going to need this video. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.